All right, all right. What's up, everybody? This is your boy Really Bright, and today is March 24, 2026. Here we go again. Here we go again. For another session. So let me know in the chat if you can see me, if you can hear me, if everything is fine. Let me know, please. Let me know. Let me know. Yeah, all good. All right. Okay, so we're gonna start a new stream today, a new session. Yesterday we talked about what might happen, okay, and I still have the same idea. The only thing is like the only thing is the fact that we had this manipulation right there. Okay. So if you were present in my breakdown on my other channel, okay, remember we talked about what I really want to see today. Okay, what I would like to see is a manipulation at this low, okay, and to create a reaction. Okay, that's my first idea. But why I have this idea? Because right now, as you can see, yesterday we got this reaction and then we have this imbalance. So classic, I want to see price come back to the discount and then to move to the upside. All right, but above the daily open today we have a manipulation. That's why I said it's like a 50-50. Okay, it's a 50-50. Why? Because we have a nice manipulation above the daily open right there, either on NQ and ES. Both of them create the manipulation, which means this manipulation might be the redistribution after this potential distribution. All right, so right now I'm just paying attention. Like I said, I'm paying attention to this low right there. Okay, I'm paying attention to this low right there to see if we can have a manipulation and divergence to go higher. So now somebody gonna ask me, well, coach, we have a manipulation right here, why don't just short? Even again, we can short, we can sell, but everything will depend on this low right there. Okay, if we can just break this low and then create a massive candle and create an imbalance, I'll probably wait for price to come back to go lower. But the thing is, we don't really have downside target. Okay, oh okay, so now we have some liquidity right here, not basically the current high of day, but all of that are targets. Okay, so some people took the trade yesterday. Some people took the trade yesterday from the New York, from NQ. Basically, you took it right there. Okay, some people got TP in this movement. I checked the Discord and I saw like so many people got it, and I was not even at home. Remember, I told you I had to go out to do something very important. So yeah, that was a nice move, but as you can see, we left some downside target right there. So that's why we basically come back again. Okay, so yeah, I'm waiting to see. I'm gonna wait to see what price will do in the first 30 minutes right there. And with that, we will know what to do during the day. But again, my primary scenario, my primary idea will be like manipulation and this low to go higher. Okay, so it's been the same since yesterday. It's gonna be very hard for me to switch from bullish to bearish without seeing market invert this imbalance on H4. Okay, this imbalance on H4 right there, we have it. So okay, so now if we have like a big, let's say we have a big break, a nice break at the close of the 4-hour candle, you're gonna have a nice candle right there, and that might change the entire environment. That's what I'm saying. All right. Let's see, boy. Oh, we already have 123 people in the stream. So please, guys, drop a like on the stream if you like what you see, if you like my content and the stream, the podcast, the videos, sessions, and everything. So just drop a like on the stream. I think the sound is a little bit higher than usual. I think the sound is good because c'est pas bon tabzim. Okay. Opening of the session right there, 9:30. All right. And as you can see, the 50% of the previous daily range does not show sign of weakness. Okay. Does not show sign of strength. Okay. Yes, we were above it and then we dropped down again. So let's see. I explained everything in the breakdown. I can re-explain again, but I explained everything in the breakdown. I said we are in the middle of two. We had a potential sell area right here, and we had a potential buy area right there. Both of them create reaction, and we are in the middle of like the two, I can say two manipulation. All right. But basically, today context, we have the daily context telling me that might be the high of day, and to just short. Okay. To just short right there, just short the trade, just short, I mean, sell the market. To go where exactly? We have targets in this low. We don't really have targets in this low. So daily context telling me, bro, just short. All right. But I can't ignore this reaction right there. Okay. So that's what I said. It's a 50-50 days. I can short today. I can long today. Depending on what I see in the market. Depending on what the market gives me as confirmation. It's 9:41. The first 15 minutes of the session is about to be done. It's gonna be in 20 something minutes. Just open and react at the 50% of the previous daily range, as you can see, and dropping lower. Yeah, we got 128 people in the stream, so please drop a like. If you enjoy it, just drop a like and everything. We're waiting. We also come back to the opening gap right there. I don't know if you see it. From this close to this open right there, we have this gap from Sunday, and plus the imbalance on H4. All right, we have the first 15 minutes of the session, and we have rejection both ways. Definitely, that's not what we want to see. Even if you want a long or if you want a short, that's not what you want to see, because this candle doesn't say anything. It's just telling us that you have to wait for the next candle to see what's gonna happen in 15 minutes. Okay. Yes, we break the Asia low, but that's not the break I'm talking about. And as you can see, before we move into the low of Asia, we kind of have some weird candle. Since this big down candle right there, you have a pin bar, you have a bearish pin bar, you have a bullish pin bar, you have another pin bar. I think people call that doji. Okay, and then yes, you have a big down candle, but you have rejection both ways right now. So I mean anything so far. So in M5 we have these big candle, big up candle before this movement to the downside, and then we also have an imbalance on NQ. I like this pin bar right here. I'm just waiting to see if the next candle can be a big push up to invert this imbalance or to create that mitigation. That will be my confirmation too long. Okay, so if we cannot do something like this, all right, and create that mitigation, I don't think that will be a great long. Okay, let's check 4 hour. Remember we talked about the 4 hour candles. The 4 hour candle right now, if we close below this low, that will change the entire idea. That will change my idea basically. Or it might be a day I don't take any trade. No, either. Yeah. Let's wait and see, bro. Let's wait and see. I did not make the coffee this morning, guys. I was just like, well, I don't want to drink coffee this morning. Still now, it looks bearish. "15 minutes. One hour. Well, big down candle. We're not gonna have a mitigation, a bearish mitigation. I should have beaten this candle because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up candle, and the market just break them right there to create that mitigation. And then we had this imbalance on M15. The market just react inside of it right there. Yep, it's a 50-50 day. So far, so good. In M15, we don't really have sign of strength. In M5, we don't have sign of strength. So the market is still weak, which means we are still bearish from the manipulation. Check again. Check the current high of the day. This high, just watch it closer. Not the best one, but 75. Yes. What's the London high right there? Keep watching price. Just watching. Hmm. We got 130 people in the stream, so guys, please drop a like in the stream. Drop a like on the stream. That's all you gotta do. How are we gonna stay patient and wait to see what price will do, and if we can have some opportunity, we're gonna take them. Sans pression, sans... We are currently at the low of Asia, and well, don't really do anything yet, just waiting. So it's almost 10. It's 10. I'm gonna have this right there, and 11 gonna be right here. That's 10 in the morning, and then that's 11 right there. It's a C plus setup. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm gonna wait until something clear happen the market. So we have some, like, it's not the current high of day, but this target right here, and we have these highs and these highs, and I was thinking about it. If you're watching it, you can see this high right there. They are very close. Yes, we still got a manipulation right there on the high of Asia, but that's still target for me. This high and this high, they are very close. They are very close. We are waiting, bro. And even on well, on ES I don't really see it that way. I think on NQ it looks like a target, but on ES we don't have it. Okay, so yeah, it's a 50-50 day. I don't have like a, well, you already know my priority, the scenario that I would like to see. Okay, which is like a manipulation at this low and a reaction, and to go higher and take this target, and why not keep going higher. The low of Asia right there, manipulation, and then to go higher. Okay, that's my priority, which means that's my primary primary scenario. But again, the way ES create that manipulation, and then we're dropping lower, since we got this reaction inside of a potential sell area, we keep having movement to the downside, and now we are in the middle of these two potential areas we had that created reaction. So let's see, boy. All right, it's literally 10. We have a nice candle on ES right there. I think I like it. Let's see if NQ can create that IC2 above the next stock exchange open. And on 5 minutes, we move to the upside first. Not typically what you want to see, but if this candle is very strong, I will find an entry. I will try to find an entry. All right. So let's see. Hmm. 15 minutes. In this entire area, that's a 120 something range. I'm waiting on NQ. Well, I want to see this candle break that candle to be bullish. On ES, these candles are strange. Okay, the really last candle that show heavily sign of weakness, that was this candle right there. Since then, we keep having reaction. So, but on NQ we have this down candle, not the best one, but big down candle that shows sign of weakness. If we can invert that, I mean, if we can create an IC candle, well, it's an inversion. If we can create an IC candle, I will play that. I will long that. Okay, and that will be the first target. And like I said, the current high of day we have a manipulation, but it's also a target. So that's how I see it. So I'm waiting. I'm not chasing price. You know that already. So I'm not chasing price. If it's not clear, I'm not gonna take it. That's the hourly open right there. That's the hourly open right there. Sweet. Okay. So we have an imbalance on M5 right there. All right, I'm not long that. Okay, I'm not gonna buy that. Like I told you, if price cannot show me real sign of strength, I will not basically take the trade. And the real sign of strength for me might be to see price moving to the upside and close above the New York Stock Exchange open. For example, we already got it on ES. I think we got it here on ES. It's not. I don't like ES. Well, when I say I don't like ES, there was no problem with ES. It's not typically what I want to see as manipulation, and especially we create some downside target right there. So we're probably gonna leave it for future reference, but I don't know. Okay. As Mark Douglas used to say, you don't need to know everything about price to make money. Okay. So M5 moving. Seeing NQ can follow ES, that would be great. Start to look interesting. That's the New York Stock Exchange. Still waiting. So we had the first half high right here. The first 30 minutes high right there. The first 30 minutes high right there. As you can see, price retrace. Price is inside of it on ES and NQ. We can't even cross the New York Stock Exchange and the 50% right now. So seen. Let's see, boy. One hour. There is no imbalance on 1 hour. There is no imbalance on H4. still have the icy candle right there. Kind of like it, guys. Let's see, boy. I don't like this low right there. But we have a nice break in M5 above the New York Stock Exchange and 50%. And in 15 minutes, we got 4 minutes left. That will be very interesting. That will be very interesting to have a big IC candle and to move to the down to the upside. All right, this is how I see things right now. Potential break of these highs will create a mitigation. We're gonna keep going higher, but as you can see, we also have the first 30 minutes high. Market is above the first 30 minutes high on ES and not on NQ. So if this movement can drop down and invert this imbalance, I will short. Okay, and I told you beforehand, it's a 50-50 days in my opinion. Since we got manipulation, like we have two manipulations, we're in between two huge manipulation and both of them create reaction. So that's what I said, it's a 50-50 day. So all right, wait to see how this M50 candle will be closed. The first 15 minutes candle of the hour, if we can not close above that and we have nice rejection, that might be a divergence to just break that imbalance and to keep dropping lower. The only problem is like we don't really have target to the downside, but that's how I see things. Okay, right now. That's basically how I see things right now. Just waiting. It's not what I want right now, bro. So I told you to wait. So I told you to wait 15 minutes. See, we never got this. I see. So even though ES is moving to the upside, but NQ stayed there, and as you can see right here, we have this potential divergence. So we're still in rating mode right now. Okay, so that's the close of the M15. ES is definitely stronger than NQ. ES did not come back to this imbalance. yes, like break this high. Um, but this divergence makes me feel like I want to short. We're waiting. I'm waiting, bro. I'm waiting. So we are almost at 10:20. We move to the upside first, potentially set the high of the hour and to go lower. Looks good. Looks good in my opinion, though. Okay. And why are we talking about short? It's since we have this manipulation at the high of the day. Okay. And we have a retracement at the first 30 minutes high since the high is set. So the market will leave this target for future reference. And we have this divergence right there. And the market will probably drop lower. And also, ES did leave some downside target right there. So not really joy, because well, you have to watch my recent videos or my recent streams, okay, the daily context and everything. The market cycle, and I said it's a 50-50 day. So because when I was doing the analysis, well, when you're in a 50-50 days, you can say that it's not a high probability day, okay. And as you can see, since the opening, we stay there, we're doing anything and nothing at the same time. But it's because I was able to figure out reason to long, and I had some reasons to short too at the same time when I was doing the analysis, you know. That's why I said it's a 50-50 days. Okay. This imbalance still hold. So market qui m'a dit pour relax. So market qui m'a dit pour relax nan moment. Got 150 people right here, so let's zoom out a little bit. It's almost 10:30. All right, like I told you guys, I want to see price break this big down candle in M15 to consider a potential long. Well, we spent too many times. We spent too much time. I said many times. Right? We spent too much time right there. I would not be surprised if we have another manipulation before we move to the upside. Okay. I said I'm not gonna be surprised, and I'm not saying that's what's gonna do. That's what's going to happen. I can't talk this morning. It's crazy, bro. I can't speak French. I can't speak Creole. I just can't speak this morning. So yeah, what I was saying, oh yeah, so that's the New York Stock Exchange open. That's the 50% of the previous daily range. I would like to see price giving me nice confirmation to take a long. Otherwise, the same balance we have on H4, if we got it inverted, we're gonna drop lower, bro. Based on that divergence right there in the first 30 minutes high. Okay. So now, Joey, you talk about these targets, and I get it, but do you have the confirmation to go? I gotta turn off my phone. That's not TradingView. That's another app. So see, that's why I hate leaving my phone open. So yeah, like I was saying, you have these targets right here, but you have no evidence to say the low has been set. Okay. And then, well, it's a little bit complicated manipulation, but this is what I want you to pay attention to. Okay, zoom out a little bit. Don't just stay right here. Okay, don't just stay right here. Zoom out a little bit. All right. When we zoom out a little bit, we've realized that we had a potential buy area right here, and this potential buy area create a reaction. Okay, so now just thinking about that, we probably gonna say, all right, the next day I want to see price create a manipulation to go higher. All right. So that's the first thing. That's what this expansion explained. And then remember, we had a potential sell area right there. So if this reaction is as strong as it is, why we don't just break this high? Why the market has to stop right there? And we had a potential sell area right here. Okay, remember, we had a potential sell area right there. That was one of my primary scenarios from yesterday's price action, right? So now the market reacted right there and still show sign of weakness. Okay, it's not the same as that one, and eventually we have some excuses for that one. Donald Trump said this and that, whatever, but you still have a reaction. So anybody that's saying they are bearish might be right, and anybody that says they are bullish might be right. Okay, but now when you drop down to the daily context, okay, if you're watching the daily context right now, okay, what can you see? You see that we have a manipulation right there at the current high of day, and exactly during the London, the market might set the high of day. Okay, so right now the daily context showing us that it's probably gonna be bearish and gonna keep dropping lower from that manipulation. That's what it said, right? So the high of the day said, and then yes, right there we might have some potential target. Actually, I will be like, that would be a better scenario if we could move to the upside and manipulate them before we drop lower. Okay, but at the same time, the market might left them for future reference since the high of the day is already set, and that's for somebody that say, coach, I want a short, and somebody say, coach, I want a long, and they probably be right, because well, we have this massive expansion, and that's what I was waiting for too. Okay, any manipulation below this low to drop lower, to push higher. Now when you drop lower again, lower time frame, what do you see? What do you have? In lower time frame, the market does not show sign of strength yet. Well, on NQ, okay, on NQ we don't have sign of strength. Okay, so now yes, my well, ES is the stronger between NQ. Well, ES is the stronger, right? Yes, so show some sign of strength right there, but I don't really trust it. Okay, I think I will trust it if it could like break the 50% of the previous daily range, break that imbalance, or that was the last candle. I explained that in the beginning of the stream. What we did right there was literally nothing, in my opinion. All right, well, while on NQ we had this big down candle, so if after this big down candle we can create a nicey, that will be a great sign of strength. Okay, that would be a great sign of strength. Close above the New York Stock Exchange, close above the 50%, that will be a great sign of strength to attack this liquidity and to keep going higher. So that's why I said it's a 50-50 game. If it's that's why I said it's a 50-50 day. Okay, it's not one of these days, guys, I'm bullish, I'm bullish, I'm bullish, I'm bullish, or I'm bearish, I'm bearish, I'm bearish, I'm bearish. You know, it's type of day like, wait a minute, both can be good. Just wait. And that might be the low of the day. We don't know yet. Okay, I'm waiting for confirmation. Okay, waiting for confirmation. Just be able to break that New York Stock Exchange open right there might be a great sign. Okay, so now this is a question you have to ask yourself. If ES can literally do that, why NQ can't? Why NQ cannot? So hopefully you understand my explanations better, so get it. Okay, so now it's 10:30 and we have some weird lows and we have some weird highs. Well, the market is still in the middle. The market is still at the opening. Okay, but like I said, if we invert this imbalance, bro, I don't see price being bullish, at least in the AM session. Okay, Oof. Oh man, I just died, bro. So when I see prices going lower, at least for the AM session, we're probably going lower to create another manipulation. That might be the case. That might be the case. I'm gonna keep watching price on M15 to have a better vision of what we are doing instead of 5 minutes. But we still have this imbalance on M5. Don't forget it. And again, well, that's another thing. So when the market is doing a manipulation, it gotta be quick. Well, not as quick as like every day. It's not gonna be the same. It's not gonna be the same pace. We're not gonna have it in the same pace. But when the market is doing a manipulation, okay, watch this. Okay, we move to the upside, all right, and then we react from the high, and then, well, a few moments later, we got this big movement to the downside right there. Okay, but that's not what you see right now. Oh, it's probably gonna be a day without any trade. I explained everything in the stream, Max. I said what I'm waiting for, like, since the beginning of the stream. So I said we have this big movement to the downside on M15. So I want to see price create that inversion. It's very simple. Not inversion, but I want to see price create a nice candle right away. It's very simple. Like, yes, ES can move to the upside, and even that ES left this imbalance open, we still don't come back to it. But I'm not gonna long that. Okay. If I can have in M15 this reaction right there, at least close above the New York Stock Exchange open, 50% of the previous daily range, that will be the best idea. Okay. This imbalance on M5 is not enough for me today. Okay. Well, sometimes, yeah, you're gonna see me like doing like just backflips on M1, M5. It's not gonna be every day. The current price action telling me to wait for at least M15, and especially on 4 hours, we have this big down candle right there. Okay, we have this big down candle. Watch a minute. We have this big down candle, and we have this potential icy candle too. Why icy candle? Because that's the candle that created that manipulation too. And now we are just coming back to it. The only problem is like we are inside of this imbalance on H4. We are very close to this gap, and then we are in a discount hand and all of these things. All right, that's why I said the movement that I say that might be go lower, it might be probably to create another manipulation, because as of right now, I can't consider that as manipulation. This is not quick. There is no conviction. You can't say that. You can't say that is a market that gives you conviction too long, brother. All of this rejection. Yes, we have an imbalance, but we just have this big bullish candle, and after that, we have like double rejection. Yes, we have rejection. You have a bearish candle, pinball, bearish candle, like rejection. Finally, a great bullish candle, and then now we're moving to the downside. So that's basically when you need to zoom out and wait M15 or wait 1 hour. Simple. That's basically when. Okay. So if we can't create a manipulation right there, so I expect price to go a little bit lower. Since the first 30 minutes high right there create a divergence. I'm not telling you to short. Okay? No gammon, no fait ça nou vle. D'ailleurs même like no pas like stream now. I tell man no gammon. You don't even want to like the stream. But based on market condition, the market doesn't show sign of strength. Can we say this low is set? Hell nah. Can we say this low is set? Can you say this low is set right there? Can you say that low is set right there? So there is no sign of strength as of right now. That's why I expect at least price to drop down again. And you don't know what's gonna happen next. Okay. And right after that, we might have the manipulation, or we might just drop lower. Keep going lower than that. Okay. But the M5 is not. The M5 is not giving me any information right now. The information I have in M5 is pointless. We got 99 likes. I like that. One more and we are on 100. That's good. And we got 150 people here. That's crazy. I don't know how I'm going to react when I'm doing streaming in front of like thousands of people. That will be. I'm gonna react, but like from streaming with like 5-7 people and to 100 to 200 and to 500, we reached 300 already. I remember last year we reached 300 in a stream, but it still feels like unreal. And thank you for everybody. Yep, we got 100 likes. It's good. Thank you. Thank you. Here's what I realized, that M15 imbalance on ES is the one that NQ reacted to at 9:30 to drop. That was a synchronized imbalance. Okay, that's how we call it. Okay. What is a synchronized imbalance? Is an imbalance both of the assets, NQ and ES, okay? Not why. Not why. Why? That's a synchronized imbalance. Same candle, same hour, same everything. And then when sometimes one of them come back to it and the other one can't, can say it's a divergence. Yeah, we can say it's kind of divergence. It's something that I used to use a lot in 1 minute. Okay, when the market create imbalances. Well, today is not a good example. Today is not a good example. All right. So days like that are gonna be days like where people gonna talk a lot of bad things about the market. Well, especially like scalpers. Well, not every scalpers, but now the market is telling you to wait. Okay, and this is what people don't want to do. They don't want to wait. The market is telling you to wait. That's it. It's almost 10:45. Yo di nou coach la pe mo job la nou la. Mpa pe mo job la. C'est just un mot, li pa li aucun. Well, this is the thing. Mpa répéter un bagay si mpa kon pou ki sa mpa répéter. Mpa kon kote gade tel bagay job la soti, gade tel bagay démon soti, so don't say it when you're talking about me. And it's like utiliser mot démon pour nous faire blague, and that's weird. Nous probably ka nous doit probably pas qu'on pouvoir parole, but qu'on pouvoir parole. OK. Qu'on pouvoir parole. Qu'on aime ka hypnotiser tête moi avec propre parole que m'a dit, so gen bagay moi pas ouais raison répéter. Not just because I believe in God, but for more than that. I m'a dit tête moi gade moi même démon, gade moi même job. Why? I don't get it. Don't use these words when it comes to Librite. I kind of like this candle, but we still don't break above it. I like this big candle. Let me check M5. Still waiting. So yeah, I'm not gonna use words that I don't understand or like qui ont un cas péjoratif pour moi. You can say good things about me sans pas utiliser mot démon ou bien mot diable. Par contre, si c'est tellement vocabulaire haïtien faible qui fait que nous va joindre, c'est que gain, il doit décider pas utiliser. Ou bien, il doit pas rien pour nous, but pour moi, it's something, you know. So I really appreciate the fact that you like what I'm saying or what I'm teaching or what I'm doing and everything. And that might be a kind of love, but it's just a weird love. Okay, so yeah. Maka ta fe mouvment an kalamesi sou nou la. An kalamesi. That's crazy. Yeah. Ça va activer. Just have to wait. You just have to wait, bro. De boy avec Paula, bon, c'est un réel plaisir. Oui. M'a obligé de bloquer nous. Because I don't have time for that shit, bro. Thank you. All right. It's easy. It's easy. Tout jeune ça, tout jeune des imbéciles qui pensent eux même qui pi funny ou même qui pi bye. I know how my people like get on qui gens ici imbéciles so avant je me surprendre moi-même. Well, watching price right now, see what's going on. As you can see, in M15, we never got what we wanted. And this is type of days people gonna ask me like, how did you do like to know this is not the imbalance you should trade, and you have to wait for M15. First of all, M15 is my favorite time frame of all time. Okay, when M15 telling me something, I believe it more than M5. Oh, okay. Finally, we're gonna have some move right now. But all of these lows, bro. Finally, some move. $15. It's nice. Balance right there. 15 right there. That's the first 30 minutes high. Finally some more, but let's see if it's not gonna be another manipulation to go lower, because that might be the case with all of these lows right there. And it's 10:53. In 7 minutes, it's gonna be a new hourly candle. Let's wait. Let's wait. We finally gonna have a closing M5 that will be above the 50% of the previous daily range and above the opening of the New York Stock Exchange. So that might be the move. We're gonna have a mitigation right there in 40 something seconds. This target right here looks very, very strange. Okay, this up candle will be considered as mitigation as soon as we close above it and to go to the upside. But again, these lows look strange in my opinion. M15. Danny King, I explained everything already. I wanted to see price break this candle. All right, well, close above it with high conviction. Why? Because in order to consider manipulation, aka reversal, first you gotta identify the last candle that bring volume, like bearish volume in this area. And if we can reverse it right away, that will be a great sign of strength, and then the market will definitely telling you, there is some sign of strength right there, we might go to the upside. Well, as soon as we break that, you can use whatever you want to take an entry, but again, there is a warning sign, these targets right there, this downside liquidity right there. Okay, which means if we can close in M15, you can just drop in M5 and pay attention to this imbalance on, not imbalance, this mitigation to go higher, or this imbalance. You might say, well, we have an inversion, we have two inversion or two imbalances. I'm gonna put my stop below the low. I'm gonna wait for the new hourly open. All right, but you need price to give you sign of strength. Okay, as you can see, we stayed here forever. Okay, and some people, depending on which account you have, if you have a CFD account, some people might just buy that as soon as we close and put the stop right there. The only thing is like you're gonna need to see price break these highs to have a decent risk to reward. Okay. I mean, get on by tout le monde va mon cap commenter ça commenter yo. You can't shake me, guys. I'm losing thousands of dollars in few minutes, and you think some comment like it's not gonna make me anything. Not comment it, whatever, but it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I'm reading all of these stoicism books for a reason. Actually, the more you comment, the more activity you put in the stream. So YouTube will see that as a great thing. So thank you for commenting though. Like, keep commenting. You know what? M'ba block nou encore non. Because n'a pas ajouté plus commentaires and algorithme là ouais ça comme un bon signe. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Midlin Naze avec Menoy J3D. Thank you for commenting. You are the best. You're the best. You're the best, guys. Midlin, Menoy, and everybody cap commenté. God only bright job. I really love you guys because now I should comment na live la. And yeah, and my first screenshot la na live la. Pour moi quantité comment t'aimes bien and na booster channel nous. I like that. Na booster channel la. I like that. Keep commenting, guys. Actually, I appreciate that. But boy kunya mo kap madi pour tout mon commenter. God only bright job. If you want to. Alright. Let's wait. This is definitely the hand of the stream. So we can't break. You see, we can't break that. We just can't break that. So we're waiting. So ES is definitely very close to these targets, and we're gonna have to pay attention to what price we'll do in these targets because this target might just drop price lower. Man, it's tough. It's tough. It's literally tough. Can you still long ES? The thing is, ES is the stronger index. There is nothing wrong with buying ES, but I wanted to buy NQ. These lows right there are low resistance or equal lows. So basically, I don't really want to see price the current low of the as target into long. The current low of the, I'm not saying any other target, that's the current low of the. That's why my attention was on definitely NQ, and I wanted to see price break the New York Stock Exchange Open, which is also a nice candle to move to the upside, you know, and to keep going higher. But we still can't create that inversion, bro. We still can't create that mitigation. We still can't create that inversion. We still can't create that icy candle. And at the same time, we're still holding this imbalance on M5. Yep. Yep. We can say that these targets are basically the sign of some like indecision in the market, because why we leave all of these targets right there. Okay, so now I don't know if Drazi is there. So now you have targets everywhere, because we have some upside targets and we have some downside targets, which showing us that we are basically in a low probability scenario, you know. Why Michael says IC can do, you know, well, it's IC, you know. IC means for institutional candle, but when you're talking, you just say IC. Well, sometimes it might be weird, you know. You just say IC and then you had candle. All right, but we could have said like institutional candle. There is no problem with that. I think it's just like people from other community. And how are you doing, Jim? Let them with their things. Number block you. Just people from other communities, and you know, you. That was expected. I was expected anyway, so. Just do something in this phone real quick. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to do something on this phone. I don't usually use my phone, but I can do it on. I can do it on the computer. In 1 hour, what it looks like. I still see bullishness. I still have my primary scenario in mind. It's just like the price action is not as beautiful as we wish, you know. But I still want to see price moving to the upside right now. Let's say if we can have this break finally. Well, we try 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and the 5th time is just 11 in the morning right now, and price might keep moving to the upside, but we have some downside targets. All right, I'm still bullish, you know. We might come back down, take these targets before we have this movement to the upside, or we might just invert that in balance and come back to it to keep going higher. That might be something very interesting. Just have to paying more attention to it. All right, but again, the last down candle right there, the last bearish candle right there, I wanted to see price create that IC right away. Okay, but we don't create it right away. That's why I still see price create another manipulation. Okay, this manipulation take too long. All right, so now I have 2 things in mind. Wait to see if we can have a nice close, create an inversion on M15, and probably retrace inside of an imbalance on M5 to keep going higher and take these targets. And why not keep going to the upside, or the market might drop lower below the first 30-minute low. Okay, drop lower, you know, create another manipulation and to go higher. As of right now, I don't see the sell scenario play out. Remember I told you that it was a 50-50 kind of days, but right now I see more bullishness than bearishness, even though we take times, but that's what I see. Okay, if we're watching price in 1 hour, for example, you can realize that the market has never created like any imbalance on H1. In 1 hour, we have no imbalance right here. Just imagine that. So if we have a nice manipulation and we want to go lower, why we can't create imbalance, let's say on H1? Well, we're not going to talk about H4 because that's impossible. You need like 3 candles on H4 to create a downside imbalance, a bearish imbalance. All right, but on H1 we don't have it. So at least at least price has to come back to the daily open. That's how I see things. All right, and then yeah, it's almost 10. It's 11:10 right now. That'll be it for today. Okay, that will be it for today. So let me know in the chat if you don't have a question, so I can answer before I leave the stream. So let me know. let me know if you don't have questions before I leave the stream. It was a pleasure to be here with you guys. But don't worry about other people. Don't worry about them. It's natural, all right? So break even on ES for Beethoven. That's not a bad result at all. Depuis au commence c'est parler sous ça montre sous bon route là pas occupé. Yeah, bro. Well, I've been through a lot in my life, and I'm on cap commenter sur les autres par là moi. D'ailleurs nous allons commenter sur moi me faire vidéo avec. I'm not gonna report. I'm not gonna do any of that. This is something you have to understand. Sometimes people trying to like show their frustration, you know. Mon remarque moi pas qu'à faire M5 confiance coach. Well, this stream is basically one of the stream you're gonna have to rewatch. Okay. This is one of the stream you're gonna have to rewatch. LVS the producer, because as you can see, since this down movement, I've been telling you I'm waiting for M15. Okay, I've been waiting for M15, and sometimes in these conditions you're gonna need higher than M5. I'm saying sometimes. Okay, sometimes. And even my mentor sometimes, I mean, he likes the 1 minute time frame, and you're probably gonna see him take trades in M5 for like weeks or months, and you're probably gonna wonder why he did that, why he does that. Well, if he trade on the 1 minute time frame every single day, but sometimes it's still a little bit above 1 minute, just price action sometimes telling you to do that. Okay. So we are like 40 something seconds away from the close of this 15-minute candle. All right. Looks good. Looks good. And 24,431.25 will be the first target, and 24,514 will be the current high of day. It's a manipulation, and we can also consider as target since we have these highs very close to it. Not my favorite ones, but we can do that. So finally 11:15, finally we break this range we had right there. Okay, the market stayed there from 9:30 to 11. We spent 1 hour and a half right there, and we finally break. And let's see if we can like take this target, bro. That will be very interesting. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put an alert right here if we have it after the stream. And yeah, so like I was saying, the producer, this is exactly type of days you have to paying attention to the M15, the 1 hour. You know, sometimes just to zoom in, you're gonna lose yourself. Okay, you're gonna cut your fingers, like I usually say. But if you like zoom out a little bit on M15 on 1 hour, 4 hour, well, basically we're gonna see things differently. Okay. All right. So yeah, that would be it, guys, for today. Thank you everybody for being there, and see you tomorrow, same time, same place, 9:30 in the morning. We're probably gonna I did not do any other analysis for you on other assets, basically. All right, this morning somebody asked me to analyze like QQQ and SPY, and I don't know if you're in the stream. I don't know if the student is in the stream. So QQQ is like the ETF and SPY is the ETF, but you're gonna have almost the same price action as NQ and ES, but it's gonna be from 9:30 to 4 p.m., which means they are together, but the fact that they are two different categories of assets. All right. Of course, if you're gonna trade QQQ on stock options, you're gonna use other terminology, you know, but it's the same thing. Okay, if you analyze NQ and you are bullish on NQ, you basically have to be bullish too on QQQ. Or if you're bearish on ES or S&P 500, you're gonna be bearish on SPY. It's the same thing, you know. And I have students that trade stock options. They use these they use like QQQ and SPY, you know. So I thought the student I thought the student thought that we had a different, probably they were different. Well, they are different, okay, when you're trading them in the bookers. All right, but when it comes to analysis, if you're bullish on NQ, you're bullish on QQQ. If you're bearish on ES, you're bearish on SPY. Okay. So yeah, I wanted to explain that before I leave the stream. So see you tomorrow 9:30 for another market, for another trading session, and 8:30, well, during the night you're gonna have the reviews and the breakdowns, and then at 9:30 we're gonna have the session. Ciao everybody.